Hello. As you can see, this video is about recycling tissue paper. So this tissue paper came out of the gift bag that was all torn up that I opened in one of my previous videos, I think 2 videos ago. So I figured I'd show you how to recycle this. So number one is I always try to just open it up and see if it's torn or not. If it's torn, then, which this is, can I get half a sheet? That's okay. And with this, no, I cannot, because this side is torn too. So that has to go into the next list then. So I want to check this first. This looks like, ooh, it's torn over on the edge. Because if it's not torn, if you can get at least half a sheet or a whole sheet, then what I do is I just recycle it and I'll use it again myself. If it is torn, then I have other uses for it. And there's some tape on here. Try to just snip that tape and hope it just pulls apart without tearing. All right, it doesn't want to pull apart without tearing, so that's okay. All right, so that's another piece that needs to be recycled then. We can't reuse this one. All right, this is definitely just another piece that needs to be recycled. There's quite a bit of tape on this one. All right, well, we'll just cut right through that corner. There you go. All right. And this one. So I guess this is all. Are there any tears on this? Do we have one piece out of this whole bunch? We do. We have one piece out of the whole bunch that can be recycled again and reused. Very good. So this one will get folded back up and I will put it in with my gift bags that can be reused. So there's that. Now for the rest of this. There are different ideas that you can do. I have small packages that need to be wrapped. And so if I can cut a straight edge out of these, then I will do that. So let me get my bigger, let's see, I don't think it's gonna fit on my desk anyway. So let's see if I can get any bigger pieces out of this. So what I'm going to do is, come on, open up. There, alrighty. So, looks like this piece here I can salvage. That's not very straight though. There's some missing off of here. It's easier just to fold it on up because then you can just trim around and get a straight edge. All right, because the idea is to make it look clean and fresh again along the edges there. So now I can use this for a smaller package, so that's good. These bits and pieces, we can use all those. This is a nice piece, we can use that. This one is definitely big enough that I can cut this down to size to actually rewrap smaller gifts with, which is good. So let's do that. Looks like that side is okay. This side needs to be trimmed down. Alrighty, and this side needs to be trimmed down. Alright, so that's pretty cool. Now, there is this piece of tape right here in the center though, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this edge off. Oops, and there's more torn there too. Aha. Okay, I did not notice that. Alright, so let's trim this off. See if I can cut a straight line. There, now that's the piece with the tape on it. And this is that torn side. So we can trim that off and save that. All right, and this piece here has a little bit down here, so let's tidy this side up. As a matter of fact, next week I can use these smaller pieces that I'm cutting off, so this will be perfect because I have a couple small things that need to be wrapped. So that's perfect. All right, so we've got a couple small pieces. And this is pretty big, but there are tears all through this. So this is just going to be for backgrounds. All right, so the next thing I do is you can, there's a whole list of things that I like to do with this stuff. You can actually crumple it up and you can stamp with it, and that looks really neat. Believe it or not, it looks pretty nifty to look to make a background out of that. Sometimes I like to take it and put it on, if I have a picture that I can put on acetate and make like a stained glass window effect, then I do that. Sometimes I'll just take it and put it on a piece of paper, which looks really neat. Here's some white paper. So what I like to do is, whoops, my rubber back down here again. All right. What I like to do is this. Where's a glue stick? Right here. Take a glue stick and put it down. And just cover the whole front of a piece, whole side of a piece of paper, just white paper. You can use colored paper too, but then that's going to change the color. So if you don't mind that, then that's good. Otherwise, if you want to keep it the same color, this is white, and I do kind of want to keep it the same color. So then you just lay it on top, and you can either lay it flat or you can crunch it up. And this, I think I'm just going to kind of just smooth it on there like this. And then turn it over and use my big spatula and rub that on. And this is neat, especially if you have cream colored paper, the brown tissue wrap, because then it looks kind of like skin or like leather. So, but now I can trim this down, trim these little edges off, and use this on as backgrounds on paper. So that's kind of neat to do too. So let's get this trimmed off because I'm going to make stuff right now. So I'm going to show you a couple more ideas. I'm really shaky right now. Okay, so that background paper is done. So we've got some wrapping paper, some background paper. Another thing I like to do is, excuse me, you can fold it back and forth. If you have a nice size, then you could fold it back and forth, and you can make little fans out of it. Let's see if that looks kind of pretty. If you have an image of a pocket, you can fold it, fan it back and forth like this, and put it in a pocket. And just fan it out. And that looks pretty neat. It's fun if you have, I have a brown bag, an image of a brown bag, and I like to stamp that out, and this right here would fit in there. So, and for that, all you really need is some brown paper. You don't even really need do I have brown paper sitting here? Oh boy, I think I went through it the other day. Oh, I think I might have some can paper in here. Brown paper. Oh, you know what? I have a book page. That'll work to show you what I'm talking about anyways. Alrighty. So, brown paper bag. Let's see. Where are my funky scissors? Recycle. Where's my little slicer? Alrighty. paper bag. So you can put the bag on your card front, and then, where'd it go? There it is. And then you can have this coming out of the bag, so it looks like a package. That's a lot of fun. If you have an image of a tissue box, a box of tissues, you can crumple up a little bit of tissue paper, and you can have it coming out or out of a pocket. Another thing I like to do is actually wad these up when they're just little bitty pieces like this. I like to wad them up and make it into like just a little wadded ball, because it looks like a wadded thing of paper, which it is, and put it next to a cat or a dog on a card, because then it looks like they're playing with a ball. So that's kind of fun to do. Let's see, what else? I had a whole list. What else? Oh yes, another thing I like to do is, I don't know, when I was little, then we used to make these all the time, and I had a teacher who would, it was so much fun. She would take these and she would cut them for us. Where's my regular snips? Where did the big scissors go? Oops, I just put them underneath here. Okay. And what she used to do is she would cut them in little squares for us, so that way we could color an image in. And they were so much fun to do. And it kind of reminds me of that diamond painting that we like to do today. If you've ever done a diamond painting, it's kind of along the same idea, or paint by number, whatever. Because what you do is you have all these little squares, and then you need a pencil with an eraser, and you need a shape. So you draw a shape, or you stamp a shape. Here's a pad of paper right here. So you have a shape, and I think I'll actually use this too when I'm done. That'll be fun. Okay, so let's do a heart. There, I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me do it darker with a marker. Darker with a marker, that rhymes. I'm in rare form today, I guess. Okay, there, that's a lot easier to see. All right, so now all we need is, look at this mess I've made on my desk. We just need some glue and squirt some glue down here. And what we do is this. You just take this and you wrap it around, and you dunk it in the glue, and then you put it on the paper. And then you take another one and you wrap it around. You dab it in the glue and you put it on the paper. This is really fun for kids to do. I used to have the grandchildren do this when they were real little, and they haven't done it in a while. But I know doing this and doing bingo daubers around an object like this, they used to love to do both. So when you just fill the whole image in, and it gets thicker and thicker and thicker as you're doing it. Whoop, stick down. And you can fill it in too. Need some more glue. Putting it back. Helps when you put stuff right back. Those are in the way, that's why. This one's even torn off, but that's okay. That won't make a difference. You won't be able to tell that anyways. But it is a little time consuming to do, but it's a lot of fun to do, I think. So, but I'm sure you get the idea by now. So you just fill the whole thing in, and it gets fluffier and fluffier and fluffier, and then you can trim around the edges and you can put it on a card front. And that's a lot of fun to do. So there's something else you can do with it. Another thing that's really pretty to do is to have, if you're familiar with doing, not tea bag folding, iris folding. If you have a shape that you can punch out, and you can trim the pieces of tissue paper, and you make them about 1 inch by 1 inch squared, and you can tape these on the back or glue them to the back of the image that has a picture cut out that you can see through. So kind of like a floral background with the background cut out and all the flowers are still in there. Then you can cut these tissue papers in little pieces, or you can just rip little pieces and you can glue them all over the back, so that way you can see through and it looks really neat. So look at how this is looking now. Look how fluffy that's getting. This is adorable to make little tutus for little ballerinas. So if you have a ballerina image, you can do that. You can fill a flower with this. That looks really pretty to fill a flower. If it's too fluffy, you can always come in and you can always trim it down. Which I think I'll do a little bit just to make sure that we can see the heart shape. There. That looks more hearty. And all these little bits and pieces we can still use. So, alrighty. Another thing you can do is, and this is something that I think looks really pretty, is you can take these and you can fold it over. And fold them over. Stack them on top of each other, and then get a stapler. And I love to make these. And you need a piece of paper on the bottom. So, oh, here's a circle right here. So you can have this, and then you staple this right in the center. Oh, that might be kind of thick for what I'm going to do. I better not do that. Better do it this way instead. You just need something to attach this to. So then you just staple it in the center, and then you pull out a punch for, let's see, ooh, there's a big flower. Just a circle would work. All right, I'm just gonna do the circle, because then what you're gonna do is slide this in the circle punch. Show you a neat little trick to slide that in. I'm pushing that down, silly me. That helps it to pull it in. Come on, now you're not going to work because I'm trying to show this. All right. Let's try it now. There it goes. Okay. Now the stapler's not going to go in. Come on, you can get in there. Nope, it's not going to work. All right. Slippery little sucker. Let's just try this again. Okay, I just made it way too thick. That's why. Get in there. All right. Now it's locked. All right. That's not working today at all. Okay, you don't want to jam up your punch. Okay, so let's not do that part. You get to see Barbara do a mess up. Now, and I'm pretty sure I've used all the flowers that I made that were like that. But they really do make really pretty flowers. I don't have any of those left. Poop. Unless, do I have any in this box? Well, anyways, it really does work. Not the way I just showed you, but it really does work. you can literally take tissue paper and fold it back and forth like that and punch it out, and it makes some really neat looking flowers. I've done it with newspaper, I've done it with tissue paper, I've done it with I just didn't want to punch out the right way for some reason. All right. But anyways, once you staple it and staple it in there and then put it through the punch, then it looks really cool. I guess I'm going to show you with scissors. That'll work. But for embellishments, it looks pretty cool for an embellishment. And you can snip this in. And then just start pulling one at a time up and just crumpling it. One layer at a time. Squish it all in there. Have you ever done this with tissues, Kleenex? That's what they're called, Kleenex. It's the same idea. And then you do the next row. And just pull it all the way up. And then the next row. There. And then you have a cute little flower. And you can lay that on a card as an embellishment and just glue it down. So I can use that one. Yay, at least I got one done. Didn't work with my stapler though. Because I'm trying to do a video, but that's okay. And all these little bits and pieces will not go to waste because I can take another piece of paper and I can just glue the bits and pieces onto the paper, just like I did the first piece, just like I did this one, and put it on there. So, but it'll just be in bits and pieces, but you won't even be able to tell, which is kind of cool. And we can use some of this blue stuff. As a matter of fact, I want to make a piece that's blue. This is torn already. I like to get it a little bit bigger than there. Alrighty, and I think I might need more glue. No, that has a little bit in there. Okay, let's see if this has enough in there. We'll see. If not, we'll just have to get some more, that's all. Not like we don't have plenty of glue, that's for sure. All right. And this looks really cool too. Once it's done, once you get it on, covering the whole piece. There. All right, before I squish it down. There. That looks really cool. Now, turn it over. But what I was going to say was, once you get this on, it looks really neat to take an ink pad and rub over the top of it too. So this is blue, so I think I'm going to go ahead and use some blue. Let's see, where's a little bit, here's a sky blue. I wonder how that would show up. Oh yeah, that should be dark enough. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's definitely showing. Wow. That looks pretty. Guess I should have waited for that glue to dry, but that's okay. That still looks pretty nifty, doesn't it? What a neat looking background. All right, so now we've got to set it up here so my cats don't step on it and let it dry. Thank goodness I got the air unit right above my desk, so that's nice. All right, and you can do the same thing with all these bits and pieces. You can just drop it right on, so I'm going to do that right now. Find a piece that doesn't have anything on the back so I can get these used up. Where'd my glue go? Right there. Put these away. Put that away, put that away. Ooh, is that sticky? Woohoo! Sticky, sticky, sticky. And it'll stick on there where it needs to stick, and it won't stick where it doesn't need to stick. All right, and then you just trim off the excess. Scissors. Another thing that crumpled white tissue looks, you can use that as white clouds on the top of the picture. I've done that a few times before. That actually looks pretty nifty. Especially if you want big fluffy clouds. That's kind of fun. Alright, so there's definitely some excess on here. Didn't have glue underneath there. Extra. Giving it a haircut now. There's a spot there that can be filled in. There. Nope, that's just extra. A lot of layers on there. So, but you get my point. There's always a way that you can recycle stuff like this. Just got to use our imagination. And this is so, you're going to see a video in the near future with me using these backgrounds that I've made here. So I really will use those. So there's a real fluffy one. There's a flatter one, but kind of wrinkled up. I kind of like this one better. I've got some smaller pieces that I was able to fold up to wrap smaller presents with, which is nice. I've got a little rosette. I've got a little piece that I'm going to pull out that bag. As a matter of fact, I could just go ahead and use this one. Why not? There. Use that with this bag on a card. That'll be nifty looking. Alrighty, and I've got this piece. Ooh, that's almost dry. That's looking pretty darn good. Okay, let's hold this on here and trim off those edges. That's going to be pretty. Another thing I can do with all these little bits and pieces is I can throw them in my container for making homemade paper, so I can recycle it that way. And I think I definitely want to finish making this heart. That's fun. So I want to work on that and get it done, and then we'll see how that looks when it's all done. All right, but I won't bore you with that, but I will finish this, and I will be making stuff out of these pieces that I made, so that way you can see. Alrighty, so that'll be a future video, and if you like this video, then please give it a like. And until we meet again, happy crafting.